It was one of those rutinary days in Galilee, like so many, where John baptized many unholy men, when suddenly a very determined man came along. Like everyone else, he wanted to be baptized. John, who knew him well, refused to baptize him, because Jesus had not committed any sin. But Jesus told him with conviction, "Do now as I tell you, because it is necessary that we obey everything. What God requires, that he who had no sin become sin in order to bear the guilt of sinners."
How can we forget what happened when Jesus came out of the river? The heavens were split, pouring out the Holy Spirit in the form of a humble dove, and rested on the newly baptized, while the Father's voice declared that Jesus was his beloved Son.
From that very moment everything changed, for by being anointed with the power of the Holy Spirit, Jesus of Nazareth began his public ministry, preaching to all people and doing good, healing all those oppressed by the devil, for God was pleased with him too. Jesus took my place and yours in the judgment, voluntarily carrying your guilt and mine. Without being a sinner, he was treated as if he were one, to soak up the fatal poison of the beginning, and obtain forgiveness for us with his obedience. By the Father's will, Jesus became the substitute of the punishment deserved by our fallen nature, that Jesus will lift with his blood up on the last day, so that none of us would be left out of grace.
Jesus is the beloved Son of God the Father, the good and faithful servant in whom Yahweh is pleased, to whom Yahweh entrusted us to destroy the fatal effects from the original sin of our first parents, the inheritance that the wicked serpent snatched from us, that divine plan of life in abundance in paradise.
His only Son, the Lamb without blemish, can achieve our salvation as a victim, priest, and altar. Jesus is by the Father's justice and by God's will our justification,
Sanctification and redemption.
To him therefore be glory, praise, and honor, even if he was not personally a sinner.